Desiree Ellis, the Banyana Banyana coach, has just taken the South African team to the FIFA World Cup qualifications since 1993, and she joins me now. Desiree Ellis, congratulations. What happened?
Yes, that's amazing. I still pinch myself immediately. After qualifying, the emotions on the faces, the tears of happiness and joy. We celebrated right throughout the night, and we gave the players off the next day because we were traveling, back to Accra. But the beautiful thing is that a few days after that, I haven't slept really. Just trying to absorb it.
Maybe it's the euphoria.
Yeah, it could be. And then the amazing welcome at our Tambo. Oh my word, it was indescribable. It was incredible.
What were people saying?
Just the welcome. We had all these people there, and just screaming "Banyana Banyana" and screaming the players' names, and that was really great because we followed social media. So we knew that people were tweeting about us, and the fans were really happy. But to get that reception was just incredible.
How important is that for a team to get that sort of feedback from the fans? How much does it inspire you, do you think?
I think it's important because you know that you're playing for people back home, and we know that the fans in South Africa love Banyana Banyana. But when you see all of that, you're really amazed. And when you come out and you see all the fans, it just takes your breath away. I was on the podium speaking, and I actually stopped and I went off because I knew that I was going to just burst out crying because I was just so emotional.
Did it feel like a duty that you had to win for the country?
No, of course. We used one word throughout the year: not negotiable. After all the efforts of our sponsor Sasol and SAFA, making sure that we had great preparation, and our under-17s qualifying and saying, yes, the baton, take it forward. So they inspired us already, but everyone else inspired us because, our president always says that, we put smiles on the faces of the people, and that's what we tried to do. And when we qualified, we said this is for the people back home, because the person watching it on TV might be an unemployed person, and they go home and they say, we've won, not Banyana's won. So we're happy to have put a lot of smiles on people's faces back home.
Why do you think you won? What's changed? What did you bring to the team?
I think the group of players that we had, for many of them, it was a last opportunity to go to the World Cup. So they were extremely focused and really dedicated. Last year, December, when everybody was having a holiday, they were preparing for Sweden, training by themselves, preparing for Sweden. And throughout the year, a lot of sacrifices were made by players, coaches, parents, and the players themselves, because, we knew this was the opportunity to go to the World Cup. And for maybe a lot of them, the most senior players, they knew it's a last chance because they might not be around in 4 years' time. And we were just disappointed that we, couldn't make history twice in one tournament, winning the AFCON, but we're really close, and the players left everything out there. But we can be proud and say, that Nigeria didn't score against us in,
extraordinary
2 matches. So winning it, losing it on penalties, it's always a lottery, and they've been there so many times in that position, so they know how to close it out. And I think that experience really counted for them. But the experience that we gained, I think it will hold us in good stead going forward.
And you, as the coach, the players. Do you think that was a real benefit, having worked so closely with them as skipper before? Did that help you, do you think?
I think it did. I was an assistant coach with Coach Vera for 2.5 years. Then I was an interim coach for about 1.5 years. And then I became the head coach now in February. So it's really helped that I understand the players. It also really helps the way we wanted to play, and they understood that. And it's all about teamwork, teamwork with the staff and the players together. And I think that really, really helped. We were very united. We were together, and we had one goal.
Do you think it makes a difference to a team, European coach versus a homegrown South African coach?
Look, maybe and maybe not. I thought that Coach Vera came here, put a lot of structures in place, and that structure now has held us in good stead. Defensively, we're very organised, and we pride ourselves on not conceding, and she's put a lot of that structure in place. And when people say, we are tactically better, it's because of everything that she has put in. So each coach that comes, they put in a building block, and the next coach comes.
Talk about the passing game, the beautiful passing game.
And I just went a little bit further. Even though with Coach Vera we played a lot of possession football, I just went a little step further and worked a little bit more on that. So whoever comes after me will also put in a next building block. But our strength is putting the ball on the ground. I mean, we are people of a country of short people, and we cannot physically compete with the Nigerians. We cannot compete with the Cameroonians. So we've got to put the ball on the ground, and you got to, and we kept true to who we were, because we said, let's not change, let's keep it even if things don't go our way. And I think that's what made the team so exciting. That's what drew the fans to the team, because everybody liked the type of football we played.
What about the CAF Awards? Team of the Year, Women's Coach of the Year. How impressive was that?
I always say, if the team does well, the individuals will stand out, and we're very happy for Janine and Tembi. Last year, Tembi was nominated and came in the top 3. We won the CAF National Team of the Year last year, so we're going to defend the title. But very excited, when the team does well and the rewards and the awards come, that is an extra bonus.
How important is it, do you think, to have a women's coach for a women's team?
Look, I got coached by many men. I don't think, for me, it didn't really matter who the coach was. For me, it was important that I could learn from the coach. But our president, Dr. Jordan, has reiterated that all the national teams will be coached by females. So very grateful, and for the faith that they had in us. The 2 other coaches that's with me, the assistant coach, Tina Sonke, has also got a CAF A license like myself, and the performance analyst has also got an A license, Shilin Boyson. So we work together as a unit, and all come through the system, the coaching education system at SAFA. So they must be very proud with that, about that as well.
So what about a women's coach for Bafana? If Bafana, you could teach him a thing or two, could you?
With all due respect, I think people compare Bafana and Banyana, but each team has its own challenges. And I know that the boys will go out there and still qualify for AFCON, because no one goes onto the field to want to lose the game. No one goes onto the field to play badly. And we're still behind the boys, because we believe, that they will do it. We get a lot of support from the coaches. Coach Malifi, Coach Stewart has sent a lot of texts throughout the campaign and wishing us well and congratulating us. And Coach Tabu Sonong, who's now at the CAF Cup, So we've got a lot of support from them throughout the year, and wishing us well. And our coaching department as well, the head of coaching there, Franz, we can go sit in his office and chat, Fran and Neil. So, we a unit, we together.
And if a girl wants to be in the Banyana Banyana team, what should she do? What's your message?
Each and every person has got a gift, and I would say that pursue it with all your heart. Do the best that you can do, and always be the best that you can be, because you never know who's watching. When I was playing for the national team, 90% of the players were unemployed. Now 90% of the players either have degrees or are currently studying. So those are the doors that football has opened. Some of our players are analysts on television. I was an ambassador for the 2010 FIFA World Cup, but I would not have been one if I was Desiree from Hanover Park. But Desiree from Banyana gets those opportunities, and football or sport opens doors for many young kids, for many players out there. And but the most important thing is to get the support of the parents, because that is key, that parents support you, because there's still a lot of stereotyping that girls should not play football.
What sort of support did you get from your parents?
Oh, tremendous support. There were a lot of people back then that said girls should not play football. I think you still have that nowadays, but I think with Banyana doing so well, and the under-17 team qualifying for the World Cup, it has changed the mindset. It has changed the perception that girls can't play football. And my parents supported me 100%. I had 3 sisters back then, and the club that I played for were about to fold, and my dad took over the club, and they were all forced to play.
But he threatened you that you'd have to play barefoot because you kept on ruining shoes.
Yes, I did, but I still love the game. I then started playing barefoot because I love the game. And, he supported me right throughout, but unfortunately he died. He passed on before I made the national team, but I'm sure he would have been very
And what
proud.
about sponsorship when it comes to women? I mean, there's great disparities still. Why is that? What's going to change that?
I think with our performances, I think it's important. That will change. You see with Caster Semenya now, a lot of sponsors are coming on board. And yes, we have a fantastic sponsor in Cecil, but we always urge other corporates to come on board, to be part of the game, to be part of our journey, you know.
And what about sponsorship and the great disparities between men and women?
I'm not sure what it is, but you know, a lot of like our football, only the national team is televised. But I believe that, you know, Cecil took an opportunity and they took a chance, and I think maybe people are afraid to take a chance, but it shows with taking a chance with Banyana where we've come, and the sponsorship behind Cecil, taking the sponsorship away from the under-23s back then to bring it into Banyana. And I think if they look at that and they say, look, it's money well spent.
And what do you make of Danny Jordan saying that South Africa will bid for the 2023 Women's World Cup?
I think it's fantastic, but it was important for us to qualify for this World Cup. And if we do get the bid, it would be our second World Cup instead of just going into the World Cup. So I think it would be fantastic, because there were young girls at the airport, and when he mentioned that they were bidding for the 2023, some of the girls were shouting, "I'll be there, I'll be there." Yeah. So there's already a little bit of a dream going on. And I hope these kids can live their dream, because I'm not living my dream. I'm in the dream.
And tell me your inspiration and what your vision is going forward.
Well, obviously, you know, to really do well at the World Cup. We've been to back-to-back Olympics, and we've really competed with the top countries. But we've got to triple our efforts to prepare this already next year. Even starting this year, we take a little bit of a break. And then the players will start training, because we have a friendly against Sweden in January, is to do well at the World Cup, to make sure that we are phenomenal and that we're not forgotten.